Welcome to 3x3 Overtime. Kyle Montgomery, Boz Rosendahl here to give you a full breakdown of the ninth edition of the FIBA 3x3 World Cup. Today was the final day of group play. 20 games, 80 in total. A day, Boz, that had a range of every single emotion. When we came here to Mongolia, they said, expect the unexpected. This has been what they've been telling us. Today embodied that from start to finish. Unbelievable games, heartbreakers, biters, surprises. We had it all. Even a rain delay for an hour.
A rain delay for an hour, and some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen in 3x3. Think about the men's team for France. They could have forced a three-way tie in Pool C. In case of a three-way tie, there's some tiebreakers, right? It's individual results, then points. France forgot about the individual results. So at the end of their game against China, a game they had to win to force that tie, score was 16-15 in their favor. 1 second on the clock. They could have just won it. Instead, they wanted to get a technical to force overtime because they thought the second tiebreaker came in with points. They wanted to get to 18 points. They end up losing that game to China, and they're out of the competition. Wow.
This has to be the most unbelievable, improbable ending to a 3x3 game that I've ever seen in my 10 years. We both go way back. Have you ever seen anything remotely close to this?
Man, no. Frank Segala grabbed the ball from the referee and started walking away from him and playing keep away just to force a technical foul. It was an incredible situation. No one knew what to do. After two of those, the referee came to France and said, if you do it one more time, you're out of the tournament. And then for China to come in, throw a ball over the backboard and get it tipped in for a game winner, that was just incredible. I've never seen anything like
I think we can both agree that that was the overall biggest surprise of the day. Have never seen it before. A miscalculation by France, who would have been playing on in the last 16. They force overtime that they didn't need to. They lose, and their run here this year is done. All right, tell me about your biggest surprise in the women's competition.
You can't go outside of the Mongolian ladies. They came in with a 1-1 record on the day, and they needed a victory to make it out of pool play into the knockout rounds. Their first game on the day was against the Olympic champions Germany. A game, seeding-wise, you wouldn't expect them to win. They put it to the Olympic champions. They won it 18-14. Arian Tsetseg had 7 points. He made two twos, but the main thing that I saw in that game for Mongolia is they handed the Wilson the ball over to Nadine Kusel. 18 years old. This is her first year she's legally allowed to be on the seniors team. She had 6 points. She was very, very efficient. And the Mongolian defense was incredible. The crowd here, I think they helped a little bit.
And then they capped the day with a win over Ukraine in overtime with the 2 seed already locked up. Their biggest star, Ulaanbaatar, hits the game winner. Unbelievable. My biggest surprise has to go to Quincy Diggs. The way he played on that Austrian team with 3 players. No Matthias Lenortner, scores 11 points against Canada. Sonel with 6 rebounds in that game. They out-rebounded China by 5. They were pretty much dead in the water. Now they move on and have a chance at gold with 3 players. Big surprise for me today. How about your women's top player today?
Can't go outside of the world number one. You know, I'm Dutch, but I got to go with Noortje Driessen. Her first 2 games in the World Cup, she scored 3 points total. This is your number 1 ranked player in the world. She made a point today in her games against Chile and Czechia to get to the basket. 8 on 10 of ones, 11 points against Chile. Then Czechia, 9 points. She hit a 2. She got the team started, got to the free throw line. An array of moves for your world number 1. Look at how she finishes through contact. Noortje with the misdirection here gets to the basket. And I told you she was efficient against this Chile squad. Got her teammates involved as well. And the Dutch with 2 wins, much needed wins because they came in 0-2. They come out of the pool and go into the knockout rounds. Who was your men's player of the day?
Let's swing it over to the fella side. And I had a lot of players to choose from, but I got to go with the most decorated player to ever play the game of 3x3. He goes by the name the Maestro, Dejan Majstorovic, for Team Serbia. Came in to the day 1 of 9. He was really struggling finding his touch, which was a huge shock to begin with. He came in and hardly missed a single shot. I don't think he missed a 2-point shot today. Scores 20 points in a couple of big wins for the Serbians. They end up taking the 1 seed in the group. And he's the maestro. I guess he composed a symphony of string music. The man would not miss. Got a win over Madagascar, which was expected, 21-9, a blowout. But against Germany, he really stepped it up. 3 for 3 from 2-point range. And again, averaged 10 points per game. He's 37 years old, boss. 37 years old, and he's still shooting the nets off.
Think about the Maestro coming into his seventh World Cup event, actually, going for his sixth title, and coming in day two, taking his team on his back like Atlas, not missing a shot from the floor. He didn't miss from one, he didn't miss from two, he didn't miss from the free throw stripe. He really set the tone for Serbia, and if they play like this, they might win their seventh title.
They are hitting on all cylinders. We won't see them until the quarterfinals, which come up the day after tomorrow. But we begin the last 16, the play-in games for those quarterfinal teams that went directly to the quarterfinal spot. We got some games, several. I think every single game is obviously going to be big. But as you look at the schedule for the last 16, which games are really standing out to you?
Look, I'm Dutch, so I'm circling the Dutch team's games for sure. You already know that. But the Netherlands men going up against young Germany, the Netherlands savviness, the screening game, the methodical way they approach it, plus the star power of Worthy de Jong. I like them. Germany, they're athletic. They're young. Three of their players under 20 years of age. Griezmann is a star. You call him the future. I already said on the show, let's call him now because he's arrived. Did tweak his ankle today. So I'm very curious to see how he's going to look in that game against the Netherlands tomorrow. Will that still affect him? Will his ankle still hurt? Or will he be okay? And is he able to move? Because in that game where he tweaked his ankle, the opponent tried to attack him a little bit. Serbia went at that ankle and tested it, and it didn't look that good. He didn't move that well to me.
Japan and Canada should be a fun one in the women's category. You want to talk about a matchup of contrasting styles. The speedy Japanese with that outside shooting Takahashi, the Takahashis, have really been a difficult guard for most teams. But Canada with Sasha Grant Allen, that power on the inside, Cassie Brown, the way she's been playing in this tournament. Paige Crozen still hasn't found her shot yet, but I think she's saving her best for last. That Canada Japan matchup is one that I'm definitely looking forward to. And a reminder, since it is the last 16, these are single elimination games. You show up or you get shown out. This is when the tournament takes that next step.
Yeah, and the tournament's been really good so far already. And look at the level we had today. The Magic Sky almost came off of the venue here. Level of play is only going to go up. And you're right, that Canada-Japan game is going to be really cool. A clash of styles, a very tall Canada team against the shortest team in the field in Japan. Speed versus power and length. I'm curious to see what's going to happen there.
All right, for all of your updates on all of the action here at the FIBA 3x3 World Cup 2025, make sure you give us a follow at FIBA 3x3, also at FIBA 3x3W for your complete schedule. And, of course, all of the highlights from a wild final day of group play. All right, for Boz Rosendahl, I'm Kyle Montgomery. We're going to say good night for tonight in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. The round of the last 16 begins here tomorrow. Don't miss it.